Brian Wells is in on a criminal conspiracy, but at some point in the middle of that criminal conspiracy, he becomes the victim of a violent crime, both against himself and against others. So he's charged initially with homicide in a way because it's like, how do you actually know who did it? It's like, I Heart Huckabees. Remember that movie? Like, how am I not myself? They ask themselves, like, how am I a victim and the perpetrator at the same time? But he sort of is.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
He did not know any of these people. That's why they had to lure him to the tower.
But then the accounts of this man, when you actually talk to people who knew him, portray a very different person that makes me look at him as a victim, right? He's childlike and simple. One person described him as struggling with extreme shyness. He was the kind of person who would go on all fours to play with the neighbor's dog. He wore like Elton John style glasses. He used to like have his widowed mother over for steak dinners on Sundays. Like, who is this guy?
Yeah, it's a
right?
jarring contrast between like this guy sitting on the curb with a bomb around his neck and a shotgun, right? Like,
and to his credit, pleading with authorities to help him, that he was a victim in this case. Like it portrays a quiet,
gentle giant.
Shy, awkward, nerdy person who had a delivery job at a pizzeria.
Yeah.
You know, the person I could have been. Anyway, like the differences between Brian Wells, the victim, and Brian Wells, the criminal, is something that I find particularly interesting in this case. And I think it sort of speaks to how these narratives prop up, right? Like, what story are we telling about a person who is a victim? And what story are we telling about a person who is a criminal? Particularly when we're using the same set of facts to describe that person.
Yeah, and it's like, I feel like we are so binary in our thinking about those two things. It's almost like we haven't really figured out how to see where those, like that Venn diagram kind of connects, right?
Yeah. And, you know, I think you and I actually, behind the curtain, y'all, like this is something that we talk about a lot because there's such a mountain of storytelling around these big crimes like this one. And what oftentimes can happen is after they're adjudicated, a whole nother version of the story starts to unravel. And that's totally what happened in this case.